morning, everybody. Welcome in and happy... What is today? Tuesday! I was almost forgetting the day of the week that it was. Ah! Well, that's not good. Anyways, good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. Good to see you. Ah! How is everybody's Tuesday so far? Hello? Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh boy. I am pumped up. I am excited. We finally get to start case 2 today. I am very excited. Like I said before, guys, I know nothing. So, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I hope y'all are excited too. Playing Wise? Wise? What's Wise? After 2 weeks, we're finally in case 2. Yeah, the fact that the first case took like 5 hours is a little bit, That's a little long, I would say. But hey, we're here now. Big stretch. We're here now, and we're ready to begin another case. I am excited, and I hope that you all are too. Dark, Gabriel, Burima, Squid James, Abyss Heart, Amethyst, Metal Spider, Maddie. Welcome in, everybody. Detectives! I'm excited! I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for this case. I am so excited. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So I am completely blind. We are back in the lawyer's saddle, everybody. Although, I'm wondering what has happened between this time. Because Kazuma was supposed to be going to Great Britain. Has he gone to Great Britain yet? Or not yet? I don't know. I'm curious. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the stretch as well. Even though I just did a stretch. Just on the off chance that someone has played this game before me, obviously, no spoilers if you have played the game before. If you haven't, then okie dokie, don't worry about it. But just as a reminder, that's it. 3-stream streak, let's go! Sorry for ruining your guys' streaks with the test streams that I was doing the other night. I apologize, but they were necessary for us to figure out what was going on with the computers at the time. And now that we know, hopefully we'll be able to build those streaks back up. I apologize for that, everybody. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I wonder what kind of case we're going to get today. We already have had a poison case in the very first trial. So I wonder, will this be stabbing or bludgeon? I wonder. What's gonna happen here? I didn't sneeze, but thank you. It's gonna be a very, very interesting case. I can't wait. Ah! I hope that for you all, For those of you who have started school at this point, I hope that's going well for you. I know that yesterday was the first day back for a lot of people. I figure that today and tomorrow will also be pretty full. But I hope that you all's school are going well so far. Big yawn. Goodness gracious. I have final exams for my summer semester in about 8 days. Oh, I see. Well, I wish you luck with studying so that you pass those exams and that you're ready for the next semester there, Dark. You got this. Hey, Omega Rock! Welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Oh, I see, Squid James. I hope that for whatever reason you chose not to do it anymore, I hope that everything will be okay and that you're able to figure out what to do. Just eating my order from Jollibee for dinner. I've never eaten from Jollibee. I can't eat there, but from those who have eaten at Jollibee, is it good? I've never been able to eat from there, so I have no idea. I still have Pride and Prejudice to finish reading. Oh, Pride and Prejudice. That is a hard book to read, Amethyst. More power to ya. I remember trying to read that book, or a version of that book, and it was hard. I could barely finish it. I appreciate that, Dark. Thank you. It's so pointless. It is! I agree! I agree. Pride and Prejudice is very pointless. Oh, goodness. Alright. Lost some progress on stuff, but oh well, not the worst thing I've had happen. I hope you'll be able to gain that progress back soon, Megarug. Demon J! Welcome in! Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Those emotes are so dang cute. Alrighty though. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. We got some progress to make today. Okay, hold on. Alright. Here we are. Of course, we have our autosave feature. Alright, here we go! Here we are. Big stretch before we begin. Hey, Rune Ninja, welcome in. Sorry, I gotta jam for a second. Oh, this music is so good. Every time I open this game, I'm just bopping to this theme right here. Bum, bum, bum. Music nerd intensifies. Well, I'm sorry. Congrats on the three stream streak there, Megarog. Hey, Beach, welcome in. Good to see you. Alrighty though. Let's continue. Load a save game. It is time. Episode 2. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Spectacled Band. Thank you for the hydrate. Alright. It's time, everybody. Are we ready? Are we ready to begin? Say when, chat. Alright, let's do this! Start playing? Let's go. When? Thank you, Squid James. Thank you. What? Ooh.
In a corner of that small, dark room,
there's
Sholmes
dialogue.
and I waited with bated breath. In
Sholmes?
time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness.
Is that a play on Holmes?
He yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised
Wilson,
my
not
dark lantern
Watson.
shutter, and the room slowly came in.
I love this. I
Sholmes
love
was
this
staring
already.
intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band.
Oh?
I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder.
Oh!
Its fangs bared as its
Fear of snakes warning! Oh, I didn't realize that was gonna happen.
Was the
Oh.
most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Oh, great. So now we've got danger noodles. Oh boy. All right. So we're in the 9th of January. On board the steamship Buria. Oh!
So then, let us unravel this mystery
Oh!
and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me.
Who are
The
you?
cabin door was bolted from the inside.
Who
when the
are
man was
you?
killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way.
Oh?
So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery.
A locked room mystery.
A message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality.
Hmm? Eh?
This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident. By the victim.
Whoa!
Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one was touched before Madame Polish come. My flesh! That word would be necessary.
Huh?
In less than 5 days from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
This person, this is murder, and it can be locked from inside.
Ah, yes, the locked room.
Hmm?
That mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
Naga.
British consultant
Arya,
detective
who are
Fury,
you?
one in
Obviously, it's your newest husbando Lolex D.
Herlock Sholmes!
You must have heard of
I
him.
love it. Herlock Sholmes! I love it! Let's go! Wow, I love the homage. I love it. That's awesome. All right. Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. Eh? Oh, not again! Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Ryunosuke was in the... No, not again! Not again! What the... Why am I in handcuffs? So, you wake up now, hmm? We had to drag you out the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. Ah, we found you. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is. No, I'll tell you everything.
There's only one thing I'd like to know from you.
Isn't that?
Why did you do it? Why did you take his life?
Miss Susato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What?
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago.
No! What?
Okay, now I'm sad.
What? Hang on. Sorry, didn't mean to yell, but that just shocked me.
Samurai, congrats on the 3 stream streak. Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside.
His body. Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. These handcuffs. Surely you don't think I
have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me! Please! Thank you for the hydrate.
No. No! Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Ha ha ha. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey! Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. Get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely you could confide in her. I don't believe she'd give me away. No. But if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin.
I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. Only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. Leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer? No! I'm not a murderer! Ah, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know.
Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can try to find out is what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit could not have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been someone inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san. You have to tell me.
The cause of death is still undetermined.
You don't know how he died?
The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then.
That's true, yes.
Alright. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in this cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
That mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewmen forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes, alright. Oh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now. I've been shut up in his cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you? But why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
I don't understand.
Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you want to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that. I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, center of the world, in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then... Huh? Then what? Nothing. Forget it.
Kazuma-sama's. He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little.
Thank you for the hydrate.
The look in his eyes then was darker than I've ever seen it before. Usato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on this ship, I mean.
If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association.
Thank you for the stretch.
That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact.
Okay, last night.
If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin?
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I...
Fell asleep?
Well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed?
Well, yes.
Sam! Hi, Sam.
I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. Only I'd woken up, and perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. For some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it.
Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it.
I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there was no one else who could possibly have done this.
Ugh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why?
That's okay, Sam. Good to have you here.
Why did this have to happen? I can't take this.
Don't try to go anywhere.
You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
Sorry. Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around? My hands tied while whoever did this walks free? No! I can't allow that to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me.
Hiya!
Whoa! What the?
That was a Susato takedown.
Okay, then. She powerful. We got Ran over here. Woo!
Susato, what? What martial art form is that?
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry? Prove it?
Yes, your innocence. I need evidence.
But how am I supposed to...
Have you forgotten already what you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law.
Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get to Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime.
Alright. Well, let's see what this paper seal is. Kazuma would stick this over the doors of the wardrobe for me. It says, keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew could actually read it. Well, let's investigate it.
This is the paper seal I wrote for the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. But I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. You expect the Russian crew to be able to read that? Said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors.
They probably thought it was a little creepy. Maybe like a seal or something.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors?
Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well.
Ah! Yes, of course! The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I truly were the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma.
Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, I think perhaps you could help me up. Yeah, maybe let's get off the floor.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
I'm sorry. No.
What?
I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put that sign back in position.
What does she think I am, a magician? He's not Kaito, kid.
For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here.
Oh! Is this the investigation music? Woo! Mm.
I'll do the same.
Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san.
Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts.
Oh,
I shall be watching you, to make sure you don't do anything that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you to use your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
right. Well, anyway, we should make a start on investigating it. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death.
Alright, and we have our first examine area. Boy. Let's see. Let's examine all that we can.
Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it.
Suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments. Was he? Sorry, partner. I can't read your writing.
I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it?
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder?
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly.
Ah, yes, that's not good.
I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san?
Ah!
I'm sure you're careful to look all around using B and M, aren't you? Now let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now.
Alright. See what else we can investigate.
That's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
For some reason, this is giving flashbacks to me playing Detective Pikachu on my 3DS. Well, it is a detective/lawyer game, so it kind of makes sense. Maybe if you see the message in a reflection or in a different angle, it would make more sense that way. Yeah. Maybe, perhaps.
Yes, it carries a lot of memories.
Memories? What do you mean?
Hey, Vanica! I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah, yes, I see. It says, "This way up," in Japanese.
Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crew wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over, and I was tossed on the floor in here.
Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown.
I'm thirsty.
Fair enough!
Let's see. Thank you for the hydrate. What about this?
Books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, all toppled the same way.
And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mown down at once.
I wonder if... perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing this morning sword training deep.
I seriously doubt it.
Then perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. The way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Ah, I see. Hope you enjoy, Vanica.
These are the rules of passage for travel aboard this SS Buria.
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board.
Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide.
Dang, Susato! Wow! That's harsh.
Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here.
When I went for help and the crewmen forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed.
Quite a small bolt, and not particularly sturdy. And it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. He glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. Helper used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. The door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Dang.
Let's see. Oh, Kazuma's sword is on the floor. That would be a horrible prank if that actually happened, Amethyst.
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes. He's always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on his trip.
I suppose that just shows how important it was to him. And now he's gone. And now I'm not ready to let his spirit go just...
Now I imagine Susato and Arya becoming friends because they both read/watch detective stories. Haha. I mean, perhaps. We have to learn a little bit more about Susato first, I think.
What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have been broken clean in two.
The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. Wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he?
And the mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin.
Oh wait, I've already done this. I've already looked at the sword. Hold on. Hold on. What's this here?
That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. Really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how did the plate ended up on the floor?
The Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. We didn't touch it. Meant all the more for me.
Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible.
Pineapple! Woo! Excuse me! Woo! Excuse me! Big sneeze.
Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach.
Thank you.
Not only that, but the table's all messed up. Bless pineapple, yes. There's nothing on this table at all. The plate and cutlery are all over the floor for some reason.
Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute.
What is it?
That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all.
So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama.
No, no, no!
Okay, Susato, chillin' the outin'.
Seiki. The Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight and true. Just like Kazuma.
Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
Now you're going to bring that up, aren't you? I can't win. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it is not true, I see. Sorry? A criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh. It wasn't supposed to be a joke.
He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
Hey, Shades! Welcome in! Good to see you! Love a shout out for Shades. Awesome friend of stream. Go check him out.
Super duper awesome.
Yet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there. You seemed a little flustered.
Let's move over this way.
No, you're awesome, Shades. You're awesome, okay? Accept it.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma. Didn't even make it to his destination.
It looks as though the last entry is incomplete.
Means what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened?
Thank you, Grima.
Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue.
Hiya!
That's out of the question.
What?
Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? All right, I won't read it.
Poor Kazuma-sama.
Don't like prying into people's personal matters either. In this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
Yeah, I would kind of have to agree. I agree with Ryunosuke here.
It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san?
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, no. I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
Trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not.
A case on a ship? Yeah, apparently the main character's best friend is now dead. Which is, not good. And we're trying to... our main character has been accused of killing him because he was the only one in the room, and it was a locked room murder. So... we're kind of trying to prove his innocence here. And now we're examining the room for clues. Yeah, oh heck is right.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator. That's what it is. It looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough. Or something like that?
I suppose. Maybe that's it.
Ah! What the? Are you a monkey? Sholmes, are you a monkey? Where the heck did you come from? When did you get here?
Who's that? Wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European.
Oh! How did he...
You've noticed the man too, have you? I've no idea who he is or how he got in here. He looks suspicious. And tall. Suspiciously tall.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is?
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. Something very unusual about him. Is he investigating Kazuma's desk? Or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it? Or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case. If you press space on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Alright then, I'll get the suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself.
Oh, please do.
Alright. Hey! Who are you?
Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! It's a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. Seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Whoa! Hi! Ah! Hi! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What?
This isn't Watson! Okay, this is not Watson here, okay?
And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh. Well, that's true at least.
But how?
How the deuce did I know that? Perhaps? It was really most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining.
Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes.
Buddy.
Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? Another Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill.
So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
What?
And you're plotting a revolution, too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked!
No, listen, there's no way I...
Hiya! Another one?
Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous.
How could you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary. Obviously.
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came to your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Oh yes, maybe. Ah, there you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. Though I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. Ah. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inevitable Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, and a new theme. Woo! Hi!
So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Holmes.
The very same. The imitable, actually, Sherlock Holmes. Actual Sherlock Holmes. You know this man, Susato-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him.
What planet have I been living on then?
We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this?
Hey. Alrighty though, before we converse with the great Sherlock Holmes, let me go ahead and save and take my break real quick.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. I will take that in just a second here. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oop. Alright, I will be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I will return shortly. BRB! I'm back. Okay. I have more water. We're back. Thank you for redeeming mod poll. What would you like on your mod poll? Thank you, everybody. All right. Without further ado, the thing is, I have no clue. It can be a hypothetical question. It can be a vote for a favorite character. A question or an answer. Something like that would be fitting for the mod poll. But please make sure that it is appropriate for chat. Meaning it follows the rules. Alright. And now, let us converse with Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, great detective, huh?
So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed. I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock, is it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. But please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
Ah, yes. Here it is. Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then?
Indeed I am.
You've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective?
Oh boy, so we got a nutcase. Uh-oh.
Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer for you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy as of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
Rima, can you check on that mod pool, please?
A science?
Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twist of a muscle, a slight inclination of posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and deduction. And fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes.
Right. I think he's living in a constant state of Wacky Wednesday. Oh goodness.
Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Thank you for the stretch.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And these handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruto. Ah,
What a hag!
he kinda is acting like one right now, huh? The very moment I laid my eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Really? Two facts, you say?
And what would those be?
Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into the cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with the acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes, what made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he?
Yeah. I think you're forgetting the obvious fact that all three of that Kazuma, Susato, and Naruhodo are all freaking Japanese. Genius.
Initially, I considered Garderob may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe there, at least.
Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. If my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
No, it's not! What is wrong with you? Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, or the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Sholmes probably thought something like Russian crew saw other Russian people by proxy and left it at that. Ugh.
Yeah, ugh is right. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink It would appear to have been written in the victim's final moments.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that. Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. You mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian.
Alright. How about your deduction just now, huh? I'm fine, Beat. It's just sad.
We talked about your deduction before. The things you concluded about me, I mean. Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Ah, yes. The more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. When was Kazuma a Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. Oh, no. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower.
Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake.
Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder?
Yeah, that sounds a little fishy.
And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article, Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive
I'm calling it now. Sholmes is gonna have a full moment and maybe break down when he finally gets it that we're not Russian.
Oh boy. When is he's gonna figure that out? Ooh boy. Ooh boy.
Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place.
Ryunosuke doesn't even know where Afghanistan is. Oh gosh.
Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish being made by.
An article on the front page of a Russian newspaper. The headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai.
And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back. Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Might be a picture or two.
Let me check it, actually. Oh. Hello? Who are you?
This is interesting.
Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san?
Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting.
I can't read a single word, I'm afraid.
No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess.
She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, don't you?
I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article.
Ah!
Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. Pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night.
Lady
Renowned
Arya,
prima-
I'm gonna say it. He is just insane, but I think he is the ancestor for our crazy criminal and so-called detective Luke Hadmi.
So you think he's a bad guy, Beat?
Huh. Fair enough, I suppose.
Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember?
So hard to say, too.
It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room. Wearing a diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles.
Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles?
Much 20,000 rubles.
I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money.
Sato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlonia and a valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain.
Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country?
It does seem to be the hot Russian thing to do.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo.
An article on the back page of a Russian newspaper. The headline reads, "Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai." Alright. Our last thing here. Fair enough, Squid James.
Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings.
What the heck with the metal pie beating? Goodness gracious. Hi.
It could upset me. Tragic. And something you want to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Sato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
Life is so unfair.
What are you, Nosuke?
Anyways, to return to the matter at hand. Namely, this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to detail. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. Ah. This diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can't read precisely none. Ha 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 ha. So what was all that showing off about before then?
If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm much obliged, my dear madam.
The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound.
Whistling sound? Very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator.
Ah! Don't tell me! Don't tell me! We gotta freaking... No! He was bit! Oh no! Oh gosh! Speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
The ventilator grill used. The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, adjoining cabin.
A diary Kazuma was keeping of his trip to London. According to the last entry that he made before his death, he spied what appeared to be a speckled band.
So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least.
Ah! Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold.
Oh, I suppose.
No worries, Dark. Welcome back.
You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to?
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exhaustion. Oh yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough.
Thank you for the stretch. Oh, and thank you, Pinhead. I'm glad you like it. Excuse me.
You think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated.
I'm
Thank
thirsty.
you for the hydrate.
What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, please. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No, there's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Moogie! First time chatting. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you're doing well today, Moogie.
Whatever do you mean? I have no recollections as naming you as the culprit at any point.
Huh?
You must be joking! You just said it! Only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such thing.
Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
Hey, fair enough, Moogie. Get some water, get something cold, cool off from the heat. Completely understandable. You literally said that, you nutcase! I know! This guy is a nutcase.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal. Not really. So what? Looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Ha 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 ha. Now he's just being plain rude.
Yeah, that was rude. That was rude.
Off he goes, having just laughed in my face. Sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruto-san, what are you just standing there for?
We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? No way I can—
Hiya! Oh, thank you, Moogie. I'm glad you enjoy them. Oh!
One Moogie joins the guild.
Moogie, thank you so much for that follow and welcome to the Shade Slayer Guild. Welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you're enjoying the videos.
After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to just give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part.
Poor Ryunosuke.
I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
Situation doesn't look good
Ha!
for me.
I can't read.
There are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. And bring the real culprit to justice. Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruto-san?
Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before.
What's up with Herlock? I need context. Herlock is, not the greatest detective. Kind of literally assumed, you know, that he's kind of whacked in the head.
Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
I'm thirsty.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Hi!
I recognize that face, but it can't be.
It is him!
It is!
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped, I hope.
Oh, goodness. Aw, I'm glad that you enjoyed the Kinoko ones, Mookie. It was quite a long time ago that I did those, though.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation.
Hey, buddy! Mind helping us out here?
So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed up as a member of the crew?
I'm sorry. So sorry.
Bye, Panhead. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp!
This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Osagi-san's bodyguard. Minister of Justice Jigoku pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. Trusted me with ensuring that Osagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
For reference, Osogi is,
Kazuma's surname. So.
and he just coughed up blood. Someone call a doctor, please. You'd think. Bye, Panhead.
Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated?
Obviously, we couldn't give Osogi-san a visible security escort. That's why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off of him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. Failed miserably at my assignment, and Osogi-san is dead as a result. I am a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. If there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word.
Well, then maybe some permissions to investigate would be a good thing, Inspector?
We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma-sama's death ourselves. I thought you might be. Didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer?
Of course not!
Of course not!
I stole your words, Ryunosuke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness.
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes. So we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose. I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Could it be possible? Give me something to work with. I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
We need Shinichi! I wish Shinichi was here. That would be it would be good to have Shinichi here. He would solve this, no problem.
I had solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example. I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really. I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how.
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain.
Alright. But what to present, huh? Oh wait! I know what we can present! The diary! We can present the diary! Shinichi had solved his case with his eyes closed? Oh, absolutely! I'm agreeing with you! I'm agreeing with you!
What's that? It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. What I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator. Is it?
You're very astute, Inspector.
Much more astute than freaking... Sholmes.
That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right. If we can investigate in there, might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. Captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to...
Really? You're willing to do that?
Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain.
I love Hosonaga. I love him. He is an awesome character. Hosonaga is awesome. Hosonaga gives me Gumshoe vibes in a different way, and I like that. I like that a lot.
After all, I failed to keep Osogi-san's life safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move, and we can leave this cabin at last.
Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out.
Respect to Hosonaga indeed. Hosonaga is the best. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Move. First class passageway. Ooh. 9th of January, 7:48 a.m. SS Berea. First class cabin passageway.
Whew. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on his study tour by the government. That's why he was being put in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage.
Really? Must be awful. Look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even if he's sitting down.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
Suppose. Like people in handcuffs?
Hosonaga got the brain of Edgeworth and the heart of Gumshoe. That's it! That's exactly it, Dark. That's exactly it.
Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Yes, I know. Thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look.
Hold on. There's something at the end of the hallway that... Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on.
This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in the cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
Wow! Of course. It's never gonna be that easy.
Oh, excuse me. Need to get inside this cabin here.
This sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out.
That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Oh, this man's version is definitely more effective.
No, that's okay, Moogie. This is actually my first time playing through this game specifically. So, I know how to play, but I don't know the story at all. So, similar boats.
It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass.
That's a problem.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's not what I was looking for, though. This is what I was looking at.
Ah, a trap for catching mice.
Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Oh, they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. That is what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Cheese? Wonder what that tastes like.
I forget! This is still when Japan is modernizing. Oh, goodness. I forget. Sometimes I just forget what time period we're in this game.
You can't eat it, Naruto-san. Trap will snap shut on your fingers.
Really? But, I suppose you're right.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. Don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Or you. I'll find a little snack for you later.
It seems that freaking Susato is just pitying poor Ryunosuke.
That's a huge book on the top of the table there. And there's a pin next to it. Pen next to it.
Yes, that looks like the ship log.
Shall we have a look through it?
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been so meticulously recorded.
Wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate the compliment.
I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruto-san. Even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report.
Or is it?
Looks like a plan of the SS Berea. Shows each deck. Look.
The Berea is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering!
Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is that such a lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san.
Is it?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago.
The islands of Japan?
Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. Definitely didn't get out my history notes from last year when Arya said that this takes place when Japan is modernizing. Yeah, this takes place at the turn of the century. So, like, the turn of the century of the 1900s. So, like, the 1900 something. Pretty much.
Hello there.
Hello there, Dalek. Welcome in. Yes, they're not... Oh, yeah, I read that already. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them.
Well, I suppose so.
I don't know if that's entirely accurate there, Susato. But alright.
What do you think this is? Very pleasing shape, isn't it?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
I'm thirsty.
Oh, an alarm.
Thank you for the hydrate. It says, press only in times of emergency. Good job, Dalek. Glad you got through your first day. Awesome. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Hydration is good. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it.
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
You know full well that's not what that alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you would be in even a worse situation.
I wish everything would just stop. Ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? Small as the wardrobe I've been calling home.
Please don't spread personal information in the chat, please. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way.
500 and... How many cabins are there?
And that's a lot of cabins. That's a lot of cabins.
Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer! That wasn't a good start, was it?
All right, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but perhaps I could ask something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid!
Oh.
Seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I'm not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman Biff Stroganoff.
Stroganoff? Oh, goodness.
Whew. Best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. Here we are in the finest part of Priya steamship. For very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials. Kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you?
If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied?
Da. Susato-san, you understand that?
It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no.
Not permitted to visit others' cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Who is it?
Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Osogi's? Name is Mr. Grimsby Roylaw. He is very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? The Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh.
Yeah! Little bit.
Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard?
That is not your business. Come to think. Even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time. I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right?
That is not your business.
That sounds right, though. Hey, no worries, Hybrid. Welcome in. Good to see you.
Lots of discrimination towards each other. Ugh.
Yeah, ugh.
Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Nah, all time. But criminals like you cannot come in, or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy. You on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hey! Nato-san, you understand that?
It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. Didn't hear any strange noises? Nor sense anything was wrong in some way? I said, no! Sorry! I'm not so sure. Would have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It's time for me to report to Captain. Must return to Captain. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area, staying locked at all times. You escape when lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly. Shall we?
Definitely.
And we will save that for next time. Let's save our game. Alrighty. Woo! Now then, now that that's done, let's go ahead and call it for today. What a case so far. This is certainly a complicated case. Kazuma is dead? What on earth is going on here? What in the world happened? I really hope...
Show mess. That guy. He's nuttier than a basket of malfunctioning nuts and bolts fresh picked from a broken robo-brain.
Mangarok, I love that. That fits very well. Sholmes is interesting. Don't worry, Moogie. If you're interested in reviewing what happened before this, you can look back because the VOD will be up as soon as stream is over. So feel free to check out the VOD. Alrighty, though. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed today's stream. Let's go ahead and find somebody to raid today before we head off. Let's see. Let's see. Who is live today? Reliable is live. Is there points for this? Yes! You get points for coming to the raid, so please do come to the raid. That would be awesome. But not only that, let's support a friend. Reliable is live, playing a game called Frogan. Looks like some kind of 3D platformer. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and raid our fox friend Reliable today. If you're headed over to the raid, which you please should, to support our friend Reliable, please type Shadesley Raid in the chat once we get over there, so that Reliable knows we are there to support her. Also, if you're headed over, be sure to follow all of her rules, as you would mind, and once again, as always, have fun. We do have a raid message that is follower-friendly to use if you would like to use it, or you could create your own if you so wish. Alrighty though. Tomorrow there is no stream, as I do not stream on Wednesdays, but on Thursday, that's the day after tomorrow, we're back, that's not appropriate. On Thursday, which is the day after tomorrow, we will be back to streaming Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy, continuing off where we left off, trying to find the second Azran egg. Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, and I will see you all on Thursday for Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy. Bye! Stay sharp, Shadeslayers!